A candid photograph of a person or group catches its subjects naturally and unexpectedly. Often these pictures are the most open, honest, and sincere. To take interesting candid pictures, you need a good eye for detail, quick reaction time to shoot at the right moment, and a low-key presence that doesn't attract attention. My student Sarah Nix would like to evolve from taking stiff, predictable snapshots to more exciting, candid photographs. I'm meeting her downtown to teach her how to use discrete camera angles that will help her blend into the background, keeping her subject's attention focused on their activity, not on her, the photographer. Hey, Sarah.
Hey.
Getting some good shots?
I hope so.
It's a beautiful day.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Okay, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
The first thing you want to learn about taking good candid photographs is to be a stealth photographer.
Okay.
All right, and that means you don't draw any attention to yourself. So for instance, I really love this red jacket, but I'm thinking maybe you should wear my dark jacket. I'm a little hot right now, so let's change jackets. This way you'll blend in more with the background and won't call any attention to yourself.
That's a good idea.
Okay. The next thing you want to do is really pay attention to your surroundings. So whether you're outside like now or inside at home, just really pay attention to what's going on around you. See what people are doing, like maybe they're having lunch or playing with the dog, or your kids are talking, things like that. That makes for a really good candid photograph where people are doing something.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you, what's the first thing you notice when you look at a person?
Their face.
Exactly. So you want to make sure when you're taking photographs that you're not holding your camera right up to your face, because people are going to notice that, right?
Okay.
So you want to move the camera down and shoot from a lower angle.
How would I do that?
Yeah, well, you can kind of bring it down to your hip if you want to. You can still see the LCD screen and shoot that way, and that way you don't draw as much attention.
Okay.
If you want to blend into the background, avoid wearing bright colors. Find a place to sit or stand where you'll be less conspicuous. Then look for people who are just doing their thing. Notice where the action is directed so you can frame accordingly when you're ready to take your picture. To be inconspicuous, get the camera out of your subject's eye line. Make the most of your lens on your camera and shoot from the hip, literally. First, zoom in all the way. The skill here is to point the camera in the direction of the subject with the camera at waist level and fire. The great thing about digital cameras is the LCD display screen. This is ideally suited to candid photography. You can look at the display without holding the camera to your face and attracting attention. It takes practice, but it's well worth it. Okay, now that you're getting a handle on being a candid photographer, let's talk about another tricky element that digital photographers have to deal with when they're taking candids. Okay, to illustrate this problem, go ahead and take a picture of me. Okay, let's take a look. Now notice in this picture I'm out of focus?
That seems to happen a lot.
Well, the reason is when you hit the shutter, you thought the picture had taken, right? But in reality, it took an extra moment for it to be recorded to the media card. That's called shutter lag, and it happens to all digital cameras. The rule of thumb is the less expensive your camera, the more shutter lag you're probably going to have. So you've missed that decisive moment just because the camera can't keep up. Now, there are a few reasons this happens. One is the auto-focusing system on the camera. Next is the speed of the media card and your camera's ability to process that image, and whether your batteries are fully charged or not. And then add into that the human element, so that's your reflex time, your ability to anticipate that moment and track the action with your camera. So you really want to get the feel of your camera and get the timing down. But don't worry, I'll teach you some tricks to reduce the shutter lag on any digital camera.
Great.
Candid pictures can be taken at home, too. Even though you're inside, remember to turn off the flash. Then you need to get a feeling for how long the shutter lag is on your camera. To do this, point the camera at something and press the shutter button and count how long from pressure to the audible click. This is something you should remember and learn to compensate for. You can usually compensate for this by pre-focusing the picture. Just point your camera at your intended subject and press the shutter button halfway down. This activates the autofocus process and locks the camera's focus and exposure. The camera is then ready to immediately take the photograph. When the action you wish to capture occurs, press the shutter button down the rest of the way. The photo should be captured within half a second or less. Here's an advanced tip that will work in brightly lit or daylight situations. If you have a moderately advanced camera, set the focusing system to manual and focus the lens on infinity or the landscape setting. Next, set the aperture priority to use a high f-stop, f8 or higher. The camera will then automatically adjust the exposure by changing the shutter speed. A higher f-stop results in a photo with a greater depth of field. When your camera is set in this mode, you don't need to depress the shutter release button halfway down and hold it until the right moment comes along to take the picture. Now you just press the shutter button down all the way and immediately take an in-focus picture with minimal shutter delay. For more information on shutter lag, be sure to check out our website at DIYnetwork.com. While you're there, you can also see more of the pictures we took today. Magicians use sleight of hand to work their magic. Up next on The Whole Picture, we'll learn a photographer's sleight of hand that's perfect for capturing candids.